Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to have a centerpiece, a monumental, massive edition that the whole multiplayer is going to be about, most likely. And I have a lot of evidence backing this up, as well as it kind of having something to do with Battle Royale, believe it or not. We have almost undeniable evidence that Halo Infinite have that mode, Battle Royale, and somehow the entire community has missed it. And microtransactions are probably going to be hitting us heavy. So there's a lot to break down today, but guys, before we get started, if you like this kind of content, be sure to smash that like button so hard it turns blue, as every like helps my content and supports me as a Halo content creator. And join me on the journey of following Halo for over 9 years. Just hit that sub button, hit the notification bell, and get alerted as soon as a new Halo video or news comes up here on HaloFollower. Alright, let's jump into it. So firstly, big shout out to Sean W for finding this first bit. It is pretty weird that a major publication like the BBC posted a Halo Infinite interview with news and wasn't ever covered by really anyone, including myself, but apparently this went live during July 23rd and there was a lot going on this week. But essentially, Bonnie Ross was asked in this interview what 343 got right and wrong about Halo 4 and 5, and how has that influenced Halo Infinite. Well, she said, with Halo 4, they told a beautiful story and really proud with what they did on the campaign, but on multiplayer they fell down, and essentially, this is the first time I know of this, admitted that they were trying too hard to be like other video game franchises and basically copying what they did. She didn't say that exactly, but that's basically what she was beating around the bush about, that they were trying to do what other games were doing Me Too's. I think we all already knew that this was what was so bad about Halo 4 multiplayer, but it's interesting to have that confirmation from 343. She then says with Halo 5, it's kind of like they reversed their learning. So in a nutshell, Halo 4's campaign was good, multiplayer bad. 5's campaign was bad, multiplayer was good. Basically, these are things I think are big indicators onto how roughly 343 will be handling both in Halo Infinite. We only have a few breadcrumbs involving multiplayer so far, and Bonnie Ross says their focus isn't talking about that right now, which will probably play into something later, which we'll talk about that involving Battle Royale, but she did say is that the multiplayer is all within how they're taking the heart of what is Halo and evolving it in a way that is a very deliberate manner versus doing something that doesn't feel like Halo. Sean W made a solid point as to why or how this is so cryptic, of explaining what they're doing exactly and what this all means. I mean, had evolving Halo before not been deliberate? Well, listen to this clip from a 2018 interview with IGN and Bonnie Ross and see how it might actually be a massive hint of what is coming. I'll be right back in a second.
What do you see when you see, the Fortnites and the Apex Legends out there in this genre that you could go into if you decided it was the way to go? Like, how do you guys see it?
Yeah, even within the studio, maybe they've taken some pieces out that you could think about. You could see much more like, hey, you could do this with Halo. Whatever we do, we have a sandbox that gives us the ability to have multiple different game types. I'm not committing what the team wants to. I mean, that doesn't want to be I think whatever we do needs to be the right thing for Halo.
Sure.
And so whether or not you call it the Battle Royale or how we're thinking about things going forward, the team definitely thinks about this needs to be right for Halo. And how does Halo evolve on, we've got our arena. How are you looking at our bigger play? So
here she is talking about Halo kind of staying very, mysterious, secret, and even cut herself off there. But let's listen to that again, because she confirms arena there, but then says, how do we evolve Halo? How do we do something bigger?
Or how we're thinking about things going forward. How does Halo evolve on, we've got our arena. How are you looking at our bigger play? So it's always.
Although I covered this interview a long time ago when it first went up, Sean W noticed something that I don't think anyone has noticed, and it's the fact that Bonnie was talking about evolving Halo here, as she did in the BBC interview, and confirmed that there was arena, while implying that there is something else perhaps involving Battle Royale. And as I predicted for a long time, based on a variety of evidence we have throughout 2020 and also the years before, and how multiplayer is basically being top secret, it's so hush-hush, that I think there are some massive changes happening in multiplayer, and there is actually a lot of evidence backing this up. Of course, the Halo multiplayer that we're all used to, like CTF, Slayer, Competitive Slayer, and things like that are going to be there, Arena. But there is something else, some kind of big mode that is going to probably change what we understand as Halo multiplayer. And whatever this mode is, I think will tie in the fact that the multiplayer is being such a big secret right now, and the fact that the game is free to play. Because it's such a critical part of a free-to-play game aspect, for better or worse, to use microtransactions galore. And whatever this mode is, I think it's going to be using microtransactions in a way that we haven't seen before in Halo. Like we heard earlier, 343 is evolving Halo in a deliberate manner. What does that mean? Since Halo 5's multiplayer was such a success, at least to 343, I believe that they're doubling down on that most likely, and so far, 343 has acted a bit weird about Battle Royale, and I may have the explanation for it. Frank O'Connor back in 2019 said this: "We are not doing this as of now," talking about Battle Royale, "and have no plans to, but Battle Royale could be made for any of the Halo games in MCC or Halo 5 with some content and scripting additions because it is a mode." He also said, "The launch modes for multiplayer are not 100% defined and are subject till quite late in the process." Remember, he said this back in April 2019. He said, "But Battle Rifle will still be there, so you can have BR. But we are interested in big social modes with loads of organic shenanigans? Yes. Specifically, a blimp full of survivors heading to an island after a metaphorical lecture from Beat Takeshii? No." I got a lot of flack and criticism for covering this post way back in 2019 because essentially I said that, hey, it still seems like Battle Royale is up in the air, even though Frank O'Connor pretty much confirmed that it's not coming. But it may be because this mode, whatever it is technically not exactly Battle Royale, but is inspired from Battle Royale. Now, we're probably all already aware that the game is free to play in 120 frames per second, confirmed by 343, but not many people know why this was confirmed. And I looked into it a little bit and I found that basically Battle Royale was sort of confirmed, or at least some variety of it. All right, look at this. Isn't it odd that this was confirmed in the middle of the year, that free to play in 20 frames per second was confirmed in the middle of a year that is completely drought of news, and especially multiplayer news, all right? Well, I think it's because a retail listing for Halo Infinite had been leaked, which confirmed the frame rate and free to play. Now, I'm not quite sure why they would go out and just confirm it instead of just letting it be there as they do with most rumors and leaks. But for whatever reason, they were like, screw it, let's just tell people. Maybe it's because of all the big July 23rd reveal news and stuff. But consider exactly what happened right before this tweet is because everyone was saying, oh my god, Halo Infinite is free to play. This is nuts. This is crazy. And we heard rumors about this way back in May of this year, and we had no idea if those sources were correct or not. And 343 randomly came out a week after the news, after everything had calmed down, and confirmed that, yes, the game is free to play, and also, yes, there's going to be 120 frames per second. But that article, that listing confirmed 3 things total. Those 2 things ended up being true, and the third one was never talked about by anyone else after, and it was the game is a Battle Royale shooter. That's the genre. If 343 had learned anything from Halo 4, then copying other games doesn't work, and Halo fans hate it. And that makes sense why 343 says that they're not doing Battle Royale per se, but rather big social modes full of crazy organic shenanigans, right? Well, I think that this new mode is going to be a centerpiece of Halo Infinite's multiplayer, and I think it's going to be building off Halo 5's Warzone. Sort of like this maybe. Red and blue teams are randomly sorted throughout the map, maybe through ODST bots, but maybe they just spawn throughout the map, basically to collect weapons. However, friendly and enemy and neutral AI are scattered throughout the world. There are certain points of places of power, like advantages, like weapons laid out through a typical arena map, like a stash of rocket launchers may be at this corner of the map, randomly placed. Although I think there's going to be a center objective here, a limit on lives, maybe just 1 life. There's so many things that 343 could do here to evolve Warzone and also combine that with elements of Battle Royale that would be really cool. If you think you might know what's going on here, then be sure to let me know down in the comments below. But whatever this mode is, I think it's going to be big. While we can't be for sure exactly the extent or scope of this map or mode or whatever 343 is planning for Halo Infinite, or how similar it is to your Fortnite or Apex Legends type of game, I can't help but feel like it's going to be some mix between that and Warzone. Remember, Warzone took full advantages of Rex, the microtransactions, which I believe will play a huge part in Halo Infinite because the game is free to play. And wouldn't it make sense considering Rex did make millions and millions of dollars extra for 343, and to double down on this, consider that the multiplayer for Halo 5 worked, as Bonnie Ross said just recently and a long time ago. They believe what they did with Halo 5 was the right way of developing Halo. And apparently, it helped the esports scene because, evidently, actually, it helped it a lot. And it wasn't perfect, and honestly, I found a lot of issues with Halo 5's armor abilities and how they kind of broke the maps and broke the game, and essentially, so much to the point where armor abilities were more of an illusion, honestly. They didn't really enhance the gameplay. But whether those specific issues come back, it seems that 343 is setting up a brand new centerpiece for Halo Infinite multiplayer, sort of like Warzone for 5, but this one is going to much better promote and take advantage of skins, weapons, upgrades, and really anything microtransaction related, right? And also, this is crazy, microtransactions are already up in our face all the time now, believe it or not, for Halo Infinite. Let me explain, alright? So, of course, the game being free to play is cool on the surface, but it comes with huge concerns. Reacting to community worry about job listings basically confirms microtransactions in Halo. Chris Lee confirmed that Halo Infinite won't sell in-game loot boxes for real money. This calmed a lot of people down and it just kind of went away. But the fact is that this isn't really that much of a relieving statement because think about how specific he made that loot box thing. He said for real money loot boxes. So there's probably still going to be loot boxes. You just can't buy it with, real money, which is somewhat of a relief, but keep in mind that there's still room for literally every other type of microtransaction, just not the gambling kind of ones in Halo Infinite. 343 has invested years of time, tons and tons of money, maybe millions and millions of dollars, obviously, right, onto the multiplayer, developing the multiplayer, polishing it, and all that. And of course, they need to make money, all right? And what better way on a free-to-play game is there to make money or introduce some kind of paywall? Now, this is what's going to be kind of concerning when the time comes to learn about all these things, all right? I think first off, the cosmetic system, the armor system, is going to be reduced to a gimmicky kind of system, not really rewarding players, but rather kind of hiking up the grinding needed to unlock simple things, armor pieces and skins to better promote people using real money to buy those things, since the only thing that we know isn't going to have real money is loot boxes. And also, I think this is going to bring up some controversy as to what is paid to win or not. But Sean W. actually made a good point about how microtransactions are already in our face and why I think it's actually going to be hitting us hard, as he said. Because look at the Monster Cans promotion, all right, which I've talked about recently, which are things, by the way, you pay real money for, and in return, you get, the product, but you're buying a skin in an in-game code. That's the whole point of one of these promotions, is to get people to buy Monster Cans, because if you do that, you're going to get an in-game code. Even Chips Ahoy cookies, when you buy one package, you get in-game item or items. These are things to promote the product, and essentially is microtransactions. You see what I'm saying? It's already kind of there. With all the action figures we've looked at recently, in-game codes. These are essentially going to promote the cosmetic system and whatever kind of upgrades or, armor customization or whatever kind of microtransactions they have in the game is probably going to be promoting this new mode that we've been talking about, but also just the multiplayer in general because it's free to play, because they're going to be trying to make their money back. Guys, if you want to learn more about Halo lore and history and just the books and characters and the extended lore, then be sure to snag yourself a free Halo audiobook. It's a quick sign up, link in the description, and every sign up really helps this channel grow and supports it, so thanks so much. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Are we looking too much into this? Also, check out Sean W. Link down for his channel in the description. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to drop this video a like if you ended up enjoying the content, and subscribe. Join me on the journey of following Halo for over 9 years, going on to 10, and I'll catch you in the next one soon. All right, you take care. Peace.